Much easier to say CLG for
how they actually like to be called. I just keep getting Simpsons flashback. There's like Grimy, as he liked to be called. He's like, no, he didn't.
Good old Frank Grimes.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at the defense. It will be the LG defense we get to observe first, and pretty good patch right now for fans of the Trash Mouse, Junkrat himself, because teams where they used to run Pharah, not running it anymore. Junkrat, though, a little bit more effective in this map where he doesn't have to worry about being in midair and just getting completely wrecked by McCree. But it's going to be Gods here on that McCree, Enigma on the Diva, Indust on Zenyatta, Seagull going to be on Junkrat, Milo on Reinhardt, and Pooks going to be on Lucio.
Well, I'm going to give this offense a moment, because I think the roster we're seeing out of them on their offense from CLG is not going to stay this way. I'm going to go on out on a limb on a couple of these, though, that I know are locked in. Tekaside's going to be playing his Lucio. Spo is going to be on Zenyatta. B-Drop is going to be, I'm going to guess, on Diva, perhaps a Roadhog. Mini's going to be playing Reinhardt. Hui will play Zarya, maybe? And Linko will be on the free. We'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, well, I definitely not expecting May. Despite what we saw from Tailspin just in the series that went on yesterday, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much May coming out one way or another. Offense right now is setting up. I'd be interested to see a Hanzo. Still don't think it's going to happen. All right, Hex, I believe the offense is finally solidified. What do we see?
That's totally right. Hui's going to be on Zarya, Linko will be on McCree, Mini on Reinhardt, B-Drop, Roadhog, Spo, Zenyatta, Tekaside, Lucio.
Alright, so fans of Junkrat rejoice. We get to see him here once more. Interesting defense coming out here from LG. Really hanging very far back in the courtyard, not really risking any early poke, just using the maximum amount of cover to their advantage here. And multiple ways of cracking the Dorado nut, but I do like the safer approach that LG is coming out with, especially in this meta where offense seems so ridiculously strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just the archway. They're just going to be fire strikes back and forth. Shield already getting cracked for Mini on his Reinhardt, so they got to be careful now. They're just going to aggress.
Well, they try and aggress, but Seagull gets a big one, takes out Linko with that early poke, and now the defense, if they want, they can be a lot more aggressive. Enigma did lose his mech here, though, so gonna have to pull out the Bunny Blaster for a little bit, but you look at the offense, they know Linko's dead. They don't even want to do anything. They just back out.
Yeah, they've been super aggressive, CLG. A lot of that is on Mini, so do not be surprised by errant charges that look like they're over-aggressive. They play with the notion that he's going to create space for them. Even if he dies on a charge, they're okay with it. Here it goes.
Yep, they're moving in. Spo right now leading the way with Transcendence. Mini takes out Milo, so already a 6v5 lead here for the side of CLG. Definitely bring it right back to Luminosity. They're down 2 key players. Godzo's still in this, does have Dead at the ready. Enigma takes out Mini. And LG can fight this back. They're wounded. They're not out yet. While Gods is still alive, there is a way. Takes out B-Drop, but will go down the Tekna side.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath on the point right now. It's Hui going nuts, and Tekaside is with him.
We have a tire alert. The tire is on the way. Offense has to back out from it. Goes for it. Doesn't quite land it, but it bought so much space that LG is actually going to have a chance to stabilize here. Sound Barrier comes out from the offense. Sound Barrier comes out from the defense. Everyone feeling the beat. As LG, they bend. They have not broken. Sailor Force back in this fight. Assist God for that kill. This is pretty good for LG. They get the 2 kills that they need here. Now they can be way more aggressive onto the offense, and they're going to do just that. They're pushing it forward.
Yeah, it's 5v4 right now. B-Drop does take down Indust there. Yeah, they're bullying them back. They're all the way up on the stairs. They're gonna have to regroup.
Yeah, and that was admirable from LG. Things were looking bad, but even though they were down numbers, they just backed up even further. Gods was able to do a lot of consistent damage in the back, and they were able to bring it right back in their favor, as Seagull already has another tire about to be in store here.
Yeah, they're kind of on a slow push here. Their signature initiation is Mini on the charge getting a Zarya shield. That's what they did in the first round. Here he goes, gets a Zarya shield, charges in.
Tire comes out, gets taken out by US Linko before killing the Roadhog, but God's taking out Mini. Sound Barrier comes out once again here for the defense of LG. They're moving forward. More poke coming in. Enigma takes out US Linko in the back, and LG, they are fighting right now, Hex. They are not giving this up. It is one of the best defenses we've seen in the post-patch era. And Hui has to run away in short order. Gods was looking for that last pickoff. This is going to be a hold here from LG, and now for CLG, for what was looking like a pretty quick offense, they're down to their last attack.
Yeah, it's been absolutely stymied here. It reminds me a lot of their defense on Hollywood first. That's bend but don't break. Like, yeah, we'll get 1 kill, but we're going to trade out, get 2 of our own. They've been very patient on this defense, not forcing the issue. Passive play that's worked out for them. They're letting the other team step into mistakes, and they are.
Offense moving forward, Soundbearer on the way. Graviton soon to be joining it. Earthshatter, though, being put out by Milo, doesn't quite get exactly what he was looking for. Both teams still full strength, but Enigma gets first kill, gets onto Mini. Here comes the Diva ult at the end. Is that gonna... Does take out Technicide in the back. So LG hanging in here. They need to stay on the cart. This is looking pretty good. And here comes the Tire. Will this be the difference maker? Seen Seagull do this in the past. The Tire now rolling, juking, looking for Spo. Takes out Spo in the back. LG on the verge of a first point hold here on Dorado. Really gritty stuff coming out for them to be able to hold for that long.
Yeah, defense that they needed there. There was, you know, it looked like CLG tried to get the initiations that they were used to getting. It is kind of, like I mentioned, they'll let Mini charge in with reckless abandon. Usually he's able to get follow-up, but some really good target focus from Luminosity did not allow Mini to ever really get more than 1 hammer swing after a charge in. So he was taken out immediately. Then it's already 6v5. They were patient in backing up. B-dropped was less effective than I'm used to seeing him on his Diva. So a nice hold there from LG. Now this win condition is extremely easy. Capture first point, get it a little further than this yellow box, and Luminosity will take this first map.
Yeah, and I think LG will take this, despite the fact that I'm getting a little bit of deja vu vibes to, of course, old series in the past where LG was against C9 and both teams full held on Dorado and his mess. I think LG has really gone away from that era. I do expect them to be able to cap this out, barring a more Herculean effort from CLG, which, while possible, probably a little bit unlikely, just to set expectations here for the viewers. But still, looking at the CLG roster as they come out here, it's going to be You Must Hui here on the Zarya, You Must Linko on McCree, Mini on Reinhardt, Spo on the Zenyatta, Technicide going to be on Lucio, and B-dropped on the Diva.
Well, this roster did first hold on Dorado yesterday, but it was not against a team of the likes of Luminosity Gaming. Now, coming out for them on the offense, they're not really changing around in spawn here. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Seagull's going to be on the Genji. Gods is going to be on the McCree. Enigma will play Diva. Milo on Reinhardt. Pooks on Lucio. Indust on Zenyatta. So pretty standard stuff coming out from Luminosity. As we mentioned, they only have to get past this yellow box on first point, just a little bit past the fountain, and they are going to win this first map against CLG.
Yep, and they're going to be putting Enigma right back onto that Diva, and it's sort of interesting how patches changed meta all the rest. There's a point where Enigma was being put on Roadhog most of the time here in Dorado, and now new patch hits, Zenyatta in play, Diva buffed, he's on Diva instead of the Hog.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Now, CLG, as I mentioned, been very aggressive. If they get a first pick, they might actually come out and try to fight out here beyond the arch. But it looks for now they're going to hold back kind of in the same manner that Luminosity did.
Yeah, and of course, for LG, they have all the time in the world here. They don't even have to bring it all the way to the end. They just need to get to the yellow square, which is not quite at the gate. So a lot of options for them here to win this as... God, spamming, you're not prepared. There's some sort of meme going in the background of LG in there that I'm not aware of, but LG is moving forward. LG Defensive Matrix leading the way. They're just laying into this Reinhardt shield. They crack the shield right away. They start moving into the courtyard, taking high ground into left.
Yeah, interesting enough, Seagull did switch up off of Genji before the fight even started. He's on Reaper.
Milo takes out Mini pretty early on here, so it's a 65 advance for LG, and they're just being methodical about this. They're going back in the payload. They're not overextending. They're getting really good progress, and look at it, they're almost where they need to be, so the defense, they need to rush into this sooner rather than later. Earthshatter comes down from Milo, knocked down about 2 in the back. God's able to follow up on it, takes out You Must Linko. Seagull on the Reaper in the back line, gets the double kill. And X, this is probably going to be it. LG with a very decisive attack here on Dorado.
Yeah, they were just kind of on the back foot the entire time with CLG, backed up, said, well, I guess we have to now, and that's exactly what they were waiting for. As soon as they went in, they just got earth-shattered, cleaned up, crushed. LG wins that map in very decisive fashion, up 1-0 in the set.
Play of the match.
Yeah, this is, well, huh.
I think this was this the Earth-shatter near the end? No, it wasn't. It wasn't even the Lifesaver.
And that's what threw me off, the Lifesaver.
Oh, probably because he hit the other Reinhardt. I think.
Probably.
I'm no expert on play the game algorithms, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. But map number 1 going to LG, definitely getting a bit of revenge for their last set. They came out really strong, and it doesn't get better than that. First point hold on Dorado into a very quick attack. Good rebound here from LG.
Yeah, CLG does get map choice. We're going to Hollywood next, where Luminosity looked pretty strong, to be honest. So, I mean, I guess you only have 2 maps to choose from. You can't dodge them both. So, Hollywood it is for CLG. We'll see what side Luminosity wants to take.
Luminosity, they've definitely been okay with taking defense from time to time. That varies from team to team. But we'll ask them what side they want, just in case they do have a preference.
Well, while we do that, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Alienware Monthly Melee presented by Curse. Wonderful to have you all with us. We have so much Overwatch here for you tonight. Go grab a drink, grab a snack, settle in. It's going to be a long one. We have Envious coming up next against this Luminosity squad. We've got a whole nother group to go through. 4 more best of 3s at least coming through your way tonight. Settle in for a long one. I'm ready.
I'm ready. The Monthly Melee, something I look forward to every month. Just great games, always look forward to. Some of the very best teams in the game. And we've had a lot of support here from the viewers too, so thank you guys so much for tuning in, as Hex just mentioned. LG is ready. They want to go defense first here in Hollywood, and we'll get to see another take of their Hollywood defense, where, if you remember from the Reunite series, they didn't really hold on the first push, but they delayed it out a very long time. It was still really cool to see.
Yeah, it's one of the better Hollywood defenses we've seen in the last 3 days or so post-patch. They looked really good on it, and I would imagine that they're going to be able to try that strategy again. What they did was kind of interesting. They just didn't put anyone on the upper level of Cafe. You can't run a bomb in defense if there's no one up there to go kill, so they all kind of took low ground and just waited. They've been very patient on their defense. It's been marvelous to watch.
Absolutely. So they're saying the go. We are getting right into it. Map 1, of course, was to LG. CLG now looking to try and bring it right back, hoping that their luck is a little bit better in Hollywood. But, hey, I mean, you remember the last series, LG did pretty well on Hollywood. That was the one map they took away from Reunited. So, interesting choice. They think they can do it better. We'll have to see if that's the case.
All right, so defensively, it's like, this is why I like watching Luminosity, is because I actually get to see consistent Junkrat play. Seagull is tried and true, going down with the Trash Mouse, it seems. So that is what he's queued up on now. The rest of Luminosity will be choosing their heroes momentarily, but it is going to be Gods on that McCree. Milo will play his custom Reinhardt. Enigma on the D.Va. Seagull is going to be playing that Junkrat. Pooks is going to be playing the Lucio, and Indust, if I had to guess, is going to be on Zenyatta.
Yeah, there was one point where we saw Indust on Nothing But Mercy, and it's a little bit interesting to me that Mercy has come out of favor a bit on first point defenses, but I think the way it's been going right now is that the first point attacks have been so incredibly strong that the odds of actually weathering the storm and building up a res aren't all that great. So I think that is why you're seeing teams move away from it. It's been interesting to watch, but as you are correct, it's going to be Indust here on the Zenyatta.
Yeah, pretty standard lineup coming out from them. It's just play your best hero and nothing really out of the ordinary. I guess the one thing out of the ordinary, just in regards to other teams, is that Seagull is still running that Junkrat, but he's very comfortable on the hero. Seagull's just always been a big fan of the Trash Mouse.
Indeed. We'll take a look here at the offense coming out here from the side of CLG. It is going to be Spo on the Zenyatta, B dropped on the D.Va, Technicide on Lucio, You Must Hui on Genji, Mini on Winston, and You Must Linko on McCree. And I gotta say, the names on CLG very demanding, always telling you what you must do.
Yeah, I actually asked them about that. They said they knew a guy a while back, his name was You Must Mike, and then they just took it over and took over the tradition.
All right, I can respect that. So, offense right now, looking for a way in. Not really committing to alley or top right now. In fact, they're just going to go in from the ground floor. The brute force method on the way. B-Drop finds his way right into the cafe, but Gods and Seagull, immediate punish coming out from them. They take out Mini and You Must Hui. Still a bit of a brawl here in the fight. It's really back and forth. Neither team with a huge advantage. I think it's about 3v3 still remaining. But this is a little bit problematic here for LG because the offensive respawns will be in here a little bit sooner. It's going to be up to Seagull to land a value tire, I feel like.
Yeah, they're actually doing a pretty good job, though, at knowing that that's a very big possibility of staying pretty spread out here.
Well, here comes the tire, and now Seagull takes out You Must Hui in the cafe. Not as much as he would like for that, but still at least kills one with it. It gets a double kill. Seagull, being the rock that LG needs right now, does go down to You Must Linko. D.Va barrier not able to protect him from that. I'm not even sure how. It looked like he was protected.
Yeah, they're going to actually clean this up now. Offense will eventually flip this over. There it is. Spo cleaning up the last two on the point. And actually, lately, it's really not been that big of a deal when you're losing late on the point, just because the card is moving so slow. And even if the other team aggresses pretty far forward, you usually have enough time to take back at least second roof. And from there, you can move over to front roof if you so choose. The first fight on Hollywood Second is almost always taking place right below first roof anyway, regardless of what happens on first point.
All right, well, we do have Seagull now switched off on to the Genji. Really likes running Genji here on the rooftops. Pretty much seen it for a very long time now. Defense, it does have good position here on the front roof, and for now, they're just going to poke out, look for an opportunity, make the offense beat them. Offense, though, does have that ability. They do have a sound barrier. Pooks does not have it just yet. They have a window of opportunity here, which they might not realize they have, as Pooks came very close to a sound barrier of his own. He's going to get sniped out by God, so that window is going to close. It's going to be sound barrier versus sound barrier when they come into play, as Linko getting sniped right out.
Yeah, so not the best look early on from this offense on their next push, as the limo is rolling back. They're going to have a ton to work with next, though. You'd have to imagine sound barrier into Dragon Blade coming up soon, but there is...
Uh-oh. He dropped his DC'd once more. Spo, not happy with the lack of a pause, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. I'm going to pile in here and just give a sad face. I feel like that's the appropriate respects to be given. They're moving forward, though. They're going to keep going 5v6 because there is no remake here. You can't do it in a game like this.
No, play it as it lies. You just can't replicate the circumstances that were up before he dropped. There is no pause button, unfortunately. This is where I say, Blizzard, please.
God's going off on the bottom, does get the double kill, and yeah, pause is one of those things that it would really be nice to have. Just for situations like this. And I think this is the only time that B dropped has dropped, so to speak. I think it happened just yesterday in the in the weekly.
Yeah, because we got to make those hilarious puns about B dropped. They were great.
Well, Twitch chat of 27,000 now. You think they're not going to do that? They are going to go absolutely hog wild with those puns. So LG right now, pretty good defense coming out, but of course it is 6v5. That is to be expected. Mission impossible right now, really, for CLG. They're going to have to do this down a player. Nemasui coming in, does have Dragon Blade out the ready. Seagull, though, takes out Mini. And they're going to Transcendence right down the cart. Spo, I think, was under pressure, sort of did it in a panic format. 3 kills here from LG. Dragon Blade coming out, and they're going to finish this right out. Down goes Zen.
Yeah, I mean... maybe he can come back in, which is why you don't give up here just yet, because he is allowed to rejoin and come back in while the match is in progress. We've seen that happen before, so they're going to give it their all as it is 5v6. It's very difficult, especially in a game like Overwatch where, you know, 5v6 is nearly impossible to win fights with. Just tough stuff. So no pause button. We would also like replay files and resume from replay. I know that that's in other games that Blizzard makes. Also be great.
Oh. Defense fully set up here on top of the roof. Takes out Mini right away. B-Drop still not in the game, so this is already a 4v6, and it's a sad situation right now for CLG. Not what you want. Hopefully B-Drop gets back in sooner rather than later, but might not be much time left here, as really the offense is only going to have about maybe 2.5 pushes left.
Yeah, well, here's your best bet as the offense right now. You just try to kind of sneak in as much push on the card as possible. Get it as far as possible. Probably understand that you're not going to win this next fight. You're not going to win fights 5v6 for the most part. But get as much progress as you can. Set yourself up with a reasonable win condition on defense, and then play your heart out then when B-Drop gets back. That's all you can do.
Let's get patched up.
Alrighty, well, a lot of spray spam going on for LG right now. I'm not really sure either team's heart is in this. LG knows that they're in a great position at the moment, and B-Dropped has rejoined.
All right.
So the match will be underway, but a lot of time clearly burned off the clock. He's not loaded in back yet, but
they're going to back out and wait for him, I think.
They'll get one final push here where they're going to have to bring this cart quite away. I mean, it hasn't exactly gone very far on the street stage. Obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, to finish out and to get this next point in extension, they're going to have to win 2 fights. They're going to have to win this first one to even just get the room to be able to push it, and then the second one when LG respawns. That's asking a lot, but here we go. They have Transcendence. They got Deadeye.
Deadeye, though, coming in over the top here from Gods, takes out Mini immediately, looking for you, Muslinko, will take him out with the aid of Seagull. A double kill for LG here as LG is back up to full strength, but of course, losing a whole lot of people in that engagement, and Hex, they have one more push left in them, and not a whole lot of ultimates to go with it.
Nope, just gonna have to gut it out here and try to win with primary fires and good mechanics, I believe. I feel so bad for them.
All right, so here we go. Seagull over the top on the rooftop. Diva, or Enigma has the Diva ult coming right in. Last ditch effort here. And oh my goodness, 2 people getting blown up by that ultimate. Is this easy mode? Enigma on the triple kill. Really good Diva play coming up from him. And this is going to be the dagger in the heart to CLG. And Hex, their best chance of turning this back around in their favor. Something that I would be thoroughly impressed if they were able to do given the state of the meta right now. But they're going to have to look to do a full hold on point A in Hollywood.
That is going to be their best bet. Last-ditch effort coming in here. I mean, still some hope, and Earthshatter of the century could turn this around for him.
Up there, moving right in. Emuslenko coming in here with the Deadeye, looking for those happy little skulls. Not going to get it. God's taking him out in turn, so already down 2. From God's over the top. Here comes the Deadeye from LG. Not going to get too much of that Diva, the savior, but... not much saving people from Seagull in the back line now. Swinging the sword, has 1 kill, looking for another. Technicide just dies before he can even get there, and overtime will be fading, and LG in a great position here to bounce right back in the group stage.
Yeah, all they have to do is get the cart past that progress marker there, and they will 2-0 CLG. I mean, it's just tough. There's no reason to really beat it into the ground. Disconnections are a little tough to deal with. No great way to replicate the circumstances that were going on before that, so we can't remake. The match has already gone on way too far.
You know what this is right now? This is a good day for Comcast.
It is.
You know why? Because they're throwing Time Warner under the bus.
They're probably the same company.
Comcast is just like, yes, it's not us.
No, my internet's been fine lately.
Like if Jon Stewart were to actually attack a fast food organization other than Arby's.
or
anyway,
or if the Simpsons attacked anything else other than Arby's. There was always just piling on the Arby's.
I'm back in the fight.
Actually, that's the best thing. Jon Stewart had a return skit, and he still managed to throw in an Arby's dig. I mean, some things never change. But either way, taking a look here at the defense as they set up once more for CLG. Gonna be Technicide here on the Lucio, Mini on the Reinhardt, Emuslenko on McCree, B dropped on Diva, Hui on Reaper, and Spo going to be on the Zenyatta. So Hex, they're gonna have to do what, again, not impossible, but highly unlikely. They have to hold here on point A if they want to win this.
Yeah, something no one has done so far on Hollywood point A. I'm sure in games that I've not seen, it's happened once or twice in pubs here or there, but competitively over the last patch, it has been very difficult to hold Hollywood first. They're trying a really sneaky strat. They're going to come behind them through first push. I think they know they have to try this because Hollywood first is like impossible to hold unless you start getting ult advantages early on. Offensively, Enigma, Diva, Seagull, Genji, Pooks, Lucio, Milo, Reinhardt, Indust, Zenyatta, Gods, McCree.
All right, so offense of LG about to be under the way, and again for them, that not only do they have all the time in the world, they don't even have to get to the end. Oh my goodness, the ambush here coming out from the defense right away. They know they have to be aggressive. They do get 2 kills, but the offense gets 2 kills in turn. Seagull absolutely feasting in the situation, has 2 kills already to his name, moving around to the back, and he's just gonna get the point. Says, look, you guys can fight me over here as I add progress to my team.
Yeah, Genji does feast upon chaos. Really good at creating it and then cleaning it up in back lines. So the strategy was desperate, and it had to be. They knew exactly what they had to try to get done there. D-suited Diva is not going to be long for this world on the points. They've got not a whole lot left to defend this. They're just conceding. They're giving it up. They're going to try to hold at this marker here. The map's not over yet. They got it about halfway through second stage, so not a terrible idea. Very difficult to do. Low chance of success, but they had to try something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I applaud them for the attempt of going for something unique there. I mean, just to try and give them an edge, maybe build up some ults, go from there, but it did not work, and now they're going to have to come up with the streets defense of their lives, or hope for Time Warner to strike down someone on LG. Either way. LG in a very, very good spot right now. Deadeye coming out here from God. Skulls coming up. So many skulls coming up right now. Diva right in his face, so stopping the Deadeye. Doesn't let him get a best opportunity there. Still, both teams at full strength. Fighting here on the ground floor. As Seagull goes off in the back line. The Dragon Blade on the quad kill. Will it be 5? Hex, we have 5.
It's a pretty large number for a Dragon Blade there. Seagull, really dominant Genji performance. Like I said, he's the old school Genji. We've seen some great play out of some new Genjis, but it's been Seagull since day one. Really probably the player that popularized the hero the most.
Last attempt here coming out here from the defense. Going to try and put this back in their favor. Diva ult explodes from Enigma though, takes out B dropped. Diva bomb's going off everywhere right now, but 65 right now in favor of LG. Once more. Down goes Mini. Only need one or two more here and they're going to take this. Deadeye comes out from Yoselenko pretty late in the fight. He's going to go down the gods. Everything going in LG's favor. One or two more pecks, and they are going to have this.
Yeah, super close. Tekasai, the only one alive. He's going to try to skate his little heart out on the cart. Not enough. B-drop gets dropped in the back line. That is going to be Luminosity Gaming finishing out the map, taking the set 2-0 over CLG.
All right, and we're probably going to get an instant replay of Seagull here. I think that was a 5 kill. I'm not sure. Pretty sure I counted right. And before it turns out that, you know, I'm from NA, I can't math, but here we go. First goes in on the Reinhardt, gets Reinhardt, moves to the back. Picks up 2 there.
4.
That's 5.
5.
I can do math, Hex. It's the dream is real. That was beautiful coming out from Seagull. Definitely a big reason as why LG was able to take the second point there, but 2-0 here for LG. They are all set and all ready now to go up against the one and only Envious in the next game here of the Alienware Monthly Melee.
Okay, so as surprised we were that